Welcome back to Dark Sun Publishing, where we talk all things indie publishing, writing, and the stories behind the authors creating them. Today we have Steven Halberd, the author to Cinders of Corvannon, and super excited once again to have you back. This is our third time's the
Thanks for
charm.
inviting me back again. It's great to be here. We had some technical issues the first two times, but it's all fixed.
Yeah, I mean, it just happens, right?
Right.
So let's get into who you are. Tell the readers who Steven Halberd is.
So I am a debut author. I have a trilogy in my head, and my work in progress is the first book.
Mm-hmm.
So it's real exciting. I got to writing later in life after a 34-year career in the pharmaceutical industry that, oops, all of a sudden I was out of work about 6 months earlier than I thought I would be. And then I'm like, well, this is a perfect time to write this story that's been kind of forming in my head for years. So outside of work, I'm married. We have two beautiful girls. We've been married almost 31 years, so life is good.
Awesome. And I think, like we had discussed in previous times, that this is just a nice opportunity for you to become an author, right?
Right.
And so all things happen for a reason. So
Right.
Tell us about Cinders of Corvannon. Tell us what inspired you to write this story, because I'm already engrossed in it and I haven't even read it yet.
So let's see. The Cinder of Corvannon is, at its core, it's about a repressive military government that pushes too hard on its citizens and what happens. And it kind of, my three main characters, they kind of all have a symbol. Like one is the spark. He's my late teens male hero, and in this horrible accident, his family is killed by this government, and so he's drawn into this kind of resistance movement that way. Then there's another male hero. He's older. He hated being a soldier so much for the government that he faked his own death to escape, because that's the only way they would let him go. But even with that, he's been training and waiting for someone to lead the resistance movement. And then pretty early in the book, he finally realizes it's him. He can't wait anymore. It's him. So he's the sword. And then there's one other, I've got this really interesting female. She's a sergeant in my government. The name of it is the Pretorate. And she's a sergeant for the Pretorate, a career soldier. And then she realizes that all she's doing anymore is hurting the people she swore to protect. So she becomes the shield. So it's throw in a cool alien race that comes into the book, and it's a lot going on. So that kind of is what the story is about. The way it started, I actually started thinking about the younger male hero. His name is Rhys, R-H-Y-S, and he is this pilot that to help make money for his family, he's repossessing spaceships. So I started thinking, what if there was a repo man in space?
Right.
Instead of repossessing cars, he would do spaceships. So it started with him, but then I'm like, well, that's not enough. That's not a book.
Right.
And like a lot of us, well, then he had a family, and then he had a place he lived in, and that turned into a planet. And then I thought up the whole government thing, and then it turned into a whole galaxy and two other books. So it's been really fun.
It's like, I love the world building that you've got going on. I mean, again, I'm engrossed in this. So,
Excuse me.
So I think we touched on this last time. Corvannon is that a spaceship, or is it a planet?
It's the planet. It's the central planet, and that's where the seat of power is. But that's a planet, and the galaxy spreads out on either side and all around that.
Oh, I love that because again, it's with sci-fi, I just love the escapism and I love being, on another planet or another galaxy or whatever. So I'm loving that concept already. And you had touched on Sergeant Briggs. I hope it's okay if I say her name.
Sure.
I'm already intrigued with her line of story where, as you said, she gets to a point of like, well, how far in does she want, to be hurting people, right? So I find that very intriguing, just everything about it. And this is your work in progress. So you had told me that this is going to carry on into a series. So are you looking into making it a trilogy or branching out in small like novellas from it? What are your plans with it?
So thanks for the question. It's a great question. It is going to be a trilogy, and I haven't thought that much about the novella approach. I do have a short story that's set in my universe that I'm offering to any new readers or authors that sign up for my newsletter. They get a free short story that's set in my universe. But aside from that, I see it as 3 books, and the timing of my launch is going to be after I'm done with 2 and the outline is completed on the 3rd book, because I've gotten a lot of feedback from authors that if you're going to have 3 books, it's better to launch them either at the same time or close to each other, because as you know, Cristine, we do all this work in social media to build our reader base. And if you do that with 1 book and then they like it and they want more and you don't have it, you have to do it all over again. So my plan is to launch like in September of 2027.
Okay. So you want to have it to where you've got your first book and then not far after you've got your 2nd book in place.
Yeah. I'm actually going to try to have book 2 done. And then the 3rd, while I'm launching those first 2, the 3rd one is kind of far along.
Yeah.
So that's my plan.
But
I'm new at this, so the plans can change. But like a month ago, I thought I was going to just launch 1 book and then work on book 2. But a lot of people that I trust said, well, if you have 3, you should think about doing them at once.
Yes, and one of the parts that I want to touch upon for us indie authors is the people that are very important to us in making these decisions is our editors. So I definitely, it's not just their input on your manuscript, but a lot of what we do on the outside too. So what advice did you get? I mean, because you've already gotten your developmental critique back. Well, developmental edit back. There's a difference between that and the critique. So was there any outside of advice that your editor gave you that you would want to share with other indie authors?
Yeah, she, in case folks don't know, there are different edits, and a developmental edit is typically done pretty early in the writing process. You've finished a couple drafts, maybe you've used alpha readers to give you some feedback, but a developmental edit is where, in my case, I wanted to know, does my flow work in my story? Are my character arcs good? Do I have things in the right order? And so I thought I was a lot further along toward publication until I got my feedback. And then I realized I have a lot of things to work on, but that's good. We've talked about that. But one thing she did tell me is that that whole thing about, you mentioned, she's only giving me feedback on 1 book, but I had told her my plan, and she said, you should really think about launching them together. And she gave me some feedback on other outside stuff too, but I think that's the most pertinent thing that she helps me with.
Oh, oh, good. Yeah, a lot of indie authors that are, I mean, because we're all new to this as well, me and you. But we learn as we go, and once we know, we don't unknow. So one of the things a lot of that I've been finding with other indie authors is that they're not aware that there's actually three stages, or what I call three phases of the editing process. You've got either the developmental or critique edit, then you have a copy edit, and then you have a proofreader. And my advice is to have one of each. I mean, like, have a different editor for each process, for each phase, because you're getting a different feedback from them. And instead of having one that does all three.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's my advice. It was very good advice. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, I agree, Cristine, because as you probably know, there are folks who will offer to do it at a little reduced rate to do all your edits, but
yeah,
pretty consistently the feedback I got is that it's better to have different eyes. It's more set of eyes, a different brain coming at your work. So that's what I'm doing too. I have my copy editor lined up, and I had to tell her, hey, you know how I said I was going to get that to you in March? Yeah. Probably more like summer. She said, okay, just thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, and they all have a very strict, some of them have a very strict schedule. So if it's one thing I do panic about on the launch timeline is, can I get this editor in? And so that's also something to consider for indie authors that are about to look for an editor, is to be aware that they may not be able to just take it the next day from you. It might be a couple of months or something like that. I've not heard of anyone that's like, oh yeah, just swing it on by me. No, they're very busy people, and some of them
most of them have other jobs. So this is
that too.
Typically, or they're writing also. So you're right. They get booked up.
Yeah, like for my critique editor, she's also an author, and she's also a mother. So she has to plan these things accordingly. So yeah, it's not just an easy, I'll just get a hold of this person and they'll take it next week. No, for all indie authors about to go in that process, you need to know that it is not just you got to be sure that they have it scheduled, and you got to think about that on your timeline. So really good advice.
I have something else for other authors too, is it's pretty easy to find out what the going rate is. These different edits are typically based on cents per word.
Right.
But I did find out that if you're patient and if you have enough lead time, there are editors out there that are very good that will kind of have a soft spot in their heart for indie writers, and will, especially for me being a debut writer, that helped me get some really good people at less than I think others might pay. But one of the reasons was because I was very clear about what I was looking for, and I also had a lot of time to do that, where I think not all authors maybe think that far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it is, you are investing. So it's like investing in a business that hasn't even started yet. So you have to be aware of that, different phases cost different things. So, and every editor is also different, as you say, price per word or price per 1,000 words. So there's that to consider as well. One thing I definitely want to get into is that I love your art.
Thank you.
What you've been sharing on Instagram, I mean, it's just absolutely mind-blowing, because I've been on for a while now, and I look at everybody's art, and even my own, I do everything on Canva. I love Canva. It's really good. It's just a really good program, and a lot of authors use it. But whatever you're doing, I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. I wish I could make. I wish I could do the same thing with my characters. I think if I did, I would have them plastered all over my walls. So I just want to commend you for that, because it's just absolutely stunning work. Very realistic.
It's been really fun, and I right now I'm negotiating for covers with an artist,
Nice.
and one of the things I'm doing is I'm trying to get character art done from an artist as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there yet, and I'm a debut author. So what I've done in the meantime is I used an art program to create characters and ships and vehicles. And I'm self-taught, but for me, it's been really helpful because I have a very clear idea in my head now what my characters look like. And for me, being a visual learner and a visual writer, it's been really helpful because now I can see my characters. Not only they tell me where they want the story to go, but I can also see them. So it's been really helpful to bring the story to life for me, and hopefully for potential readers out there as well.
Yeah, I know, because our community doesn't really frowns upon like AI being used, and I think when it comes to just when it comes to putting something out on social media, I mean, personally, I don't think if it's a big deal as long as you're the one that's doing it. But like my cover, for instance, was not made with AI. So I think it's everybody's preference, and honestly, I've talked with readers, and the ones that I've asked about, what is your thought on AI covers and arts and stuff? A majority of them said, we don't care. We just care about the story. But, again, that was just a very small group of people that I just happened to ask. But for authors, yeah, we're super against like AI being used for the covers. But still though, I mean, when it comes to Instagram and all our social media, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's sci-fi, right?
Right.
Like, unless we're doing the old-fashioned way of, old animation and stuff, I don't know how else we could make it look good, So,
yeah, I think the other thing too is like everything. We all have a budget, right? And,
right.
I think we've talked about this before, but editors are not inexpensive. Covers for books are not inexpensive. So for me, until I find a cover artist that will do characters, I just chose to create my own because I found out I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I have the time. And like I said, it helps me get a visual idea of what I'm writing out there to readers. So it's been fun.
mean, I love Canva. I think it's so much fun to just the things that you can come up with. So I mean, I enjoy it, but I absolutely love your art. And
thanks. It's really fun. And remind me after this, I've got a new author. I'm gonna send you her reel because it's really quite different, but I really like it. I think you might like it too. But yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
I love, and we've talked about this too. But we don't only write the books when we're indie authors.
Yeah.
But we market the books and we publish the books they go through, like, I'm going to use Kindle, but to get them there, that's all things you can pay for to do, or you can do yourself. And we're wearing a lot of hats. So I kind of like the art. I mean, just that little part with the characters, I like that hat, and I'm learning a lot about social media. I use Canva as well, and learning, what things resonate with Instagram and Facebook readers. I just had a reel yesterday that blew up on Facebook, and I was like, it was so great because I've been really struggling getting traction in Facebook, and I'm like, okay,
right. Yeah, no, and we had talked about Facebook. Facebook is very, very slow into gaining followers on that. So, but yeah, it's one of those. Did I hit the nail on the head? Or did I say that backwards? So yeah, but I absolutely love it, and I say keep doing it if you're having fun with it, and it's originally from you. I think that's the important part right there. Is right. No, but yeah, I love that you're looking into your cover already, because that actually, and see, a lot of indie authors don't know how long these processes take. For my cover, it took about 3 months for it to get finalized.
Wow.
Yeah, just to give other authors an idea of the time frame. So if you're thinking, well, I'm going to publish in September, like for instance, for my second book, I'm going to have the cover done well before that, well before I even get there. Yeah, but so, and formatting as well. I mean, that takes time. And sometimes it'll give you a headache, but to get it right, we're in it all the way. So let's get back to Cinders of Corvannon.
Sure.
I love this question the most. Or I would say, do you identify with any of your characters?
I do. Probably the one I identify the most with is his name is Roland Vale, and he is a genetically enhanced soldier. He's the one that the Predator kind of built these soldiers. They built 21 of them before they were forced to shut it down, but they are, I guess the part of it I identify with Roland is that he is someone that he's trying something new. He's going to try to lead this resistance movement. And for me, I'm doing something new. I'm writing not only a book, I'm writing a trilogy. And I wrote him, this is kind of a recent change. I said, well, he's kind of like too perfect. Let me make him a little flawed. So I gave him some mental health issues, which I have as well. So I kind of like him. He's somebody that's easy to root for. He's a very good person, and he's trying to help. So I identify with him.
I am actually, you told me, I won't say it, because I don't want to spoil anything, but you told me a little bit about him, and now I'm even more intrigued with him now, especially with a little bit of world building that you have behind it, where you have med bots. And I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. And the way you were describing like a scene with him, that reminds me, and I love this question as well. And if you could tell us that would be cool, but it's okay if you can. What is your favorite scene, or what is one of your favorite scenes? Because to me, it's like there's so many.
Yeah, there's one scene I have that I really like because it involves a lot of my characters. There's a lot of action. So what happens is one of my characters gets captured. they decide to go and try to break her out.
Mm.
So there's this whole thing where they get together and do that, and then that's not enough. There's also another resistance agent that is just that already got moved because the predator was coming to get her, so they moved her to another location. So there's that first pickup, then the second pickup, and then when they leave, that's when things go, as Mike Tyson said, everyone's a good fighter until they get punched in the mouth. So there's some battle on the way out, and it was really, really fun to write. And there's some really big decisions by some of the characters that choose that time to decide whether they're going to join the resistance or remain on the outside. So that scene is really fun. I like that.
I love that. It sounds very complicated, and those are the kind of scenes I love the most, where it's complicated. But at the same time, you're like, okay, I got to make sure that I get this really clear for everybody to understand. So that's
Right.
another fun, challenging part about it.
Action is really fun to write, but I don't know about you, but when my space opera has military elements in it, so I'm writing about things that I just they're in my mind because I've never flown a ship, right? And I've never tried to break someone out of a jail. So it's really fun to write, and it's just really fun part about writing when you get to create a world and in this part, cool action in your world.
Right, exactly. I don't know about you, but sometimes I actually have to play out a scene if it has action, like how would this punch look if I'm coming in this way or doing an uppercut, whatever, or or something like that, or how would just kind of play it out and think about, what would the movements be and how to write that down. So love all of that. I talked to another author about how we also have to have music in the background. Like if I have got an action scene, I have to have something. Sometimes I use soundtracks where it's like, okay, I need something that's pulsing or something that's giving me a little bit of adrenaline. Do you do the same thing? I'm like,
I do. So it's funny. I kind of change on the day what I listen to. I have a pretty wide breadth of music that I like. So I sometimes I find myself listening to like the 80s channel.
yes.
But then sometimes I'll listen to, so I don't know if you're a serious person, but I love First Wave. It's like a really cool station. But I really love alternative music too. So I'll listen to Spectrum, which gives me all rock and roll, but new stuff also. But then it's funny, I don't know if you're a Spotify person, but Spotify at the end of the year, they give you this thing called Spotify Wrapped, and it tells you everything about your listening for the year. And it put my musical age as 83. And I'm like, what? And I realized that I had been listening to a lot of classic jazz also. So that I think that kind of skewed my age. But to answer your question, I can listen to anything, but sometimes I find it can be a little distracting, so I'll turn it off sometimes too.
Yeah, for me, if I need something in the background, but I don't need something that's going to distract me. What I love about YouTube is that there is so much dystopian, atmospheric, like
Ooh, I never thought of that.
I'll send you a ton of recommendations, but I mean, even in the background they'll have like a dystopian city that's overgrown or something, and it just gives that nice mellow tone to where I'm like in this dark place and or whatever and have that. Yeah, I'll definitely give you a couple of recommendations if you just need something low key in the background.
Thanks. But I also like, speaking of music, I really enjoy, even though our reels and carousels and Instagram are usually, 9, 10 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I really enjoy finding music that I think matches what I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing. And usually Instagram, they have a lot of really well-known songs,
Yeah,
and they've got the royalty thing all set up. So
yeah.
I like pairing music with stuff that I put out there too.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that when you have your reels, I'm like, wow, that's really different, you know. And I do this with my storyline. Well, if I'm allowed to, I'll change the song. So forgive me if I ever do that with you, but I do it with some other authors where I'm like, well, if I'm going to post their stuff on my story, I'm going to just change that song a bit because I want something that's going to keep people there, you know,
Right.
or what I feel will make people there. So I do that to Jenny a lot. And she's so graceful to me about it. I absolutely love this. I love talking with you, and
It's so fun.
it is. I love
I want
nerding
to
out.
just real quick. I want to tell the viewers that um, the writer community is very uplifting, which was a
Mm-hmm.
really pleasant surprise for me because
Yes.
social media isn't always that way.
No.
But Cristine is my bestie, my
Oh.
Instagram bestie.
No.
She's very supportive, and so we go back and forth a lot. So I appreciate our friendship that we have.
I do too. I mean, it's that is the one surprise that I got as well when I started out was I thought it would be more of a competition thing. But it actually turned out to where it's like, no, we're gonna embrace each other, we're gonna support each
Mhm.
other. And I just think that's so wonderful because I got to meet great people like you and you as well. You're one of my Instagram best buddies. So I absolutely love it. And I love that you're one of my first ones that I've interviewed. And yeah, I just love this. So, um, one last question. Well, actually, I got two. But what I think one of the things I love asking is where did your love of sci-fi come from? Where did the
Uh,
love for it?
so I've been a big reader for pretty much all my life I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I have such vivid memories of discovering Ray Bradbury,
Yes.
um, Frank Herbert, who wrote Dune. I
Dune.
read
Yeah.
a lot of Dune books. um, and Isaac Asimov.
Yep.
So some classics in there.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Heinlein. I think for me, one of my favorite books out there is "The Moon is a Harsh Mistress." It's just a fantastic story, especially if you love a good AI character.
Mm.
Um, and then from there, I've read a lot of classics too, but I keep coming back to sci-fi. And recently,
Mm-hmm.
probably in the last 10 or 15 years, I've gravitated a little bit more to military sci-fi and space operas because
Yeah.
as you know, not all our viewers may know this, but there are a lot of subgenres within science
Yes.
fiction.
Yes.
So that's why, and the authors there for me, Jason Anspach and Nick Cole have built this incredible empire. The Legionnaire series or
Mm-hmm.
Galaxy's Edge publication is just amazing. And I started reading that, and that's when I said, I want to write this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a soldier,
Yeah.
but I have read a lot of it, and I really identify with it. So that's me. It's mostly space opera, but I throw some good military stuff in there as well.
Yeah, and see, you know, there's so many subgenres to science fiction. I just love it. And I'm sure just like you, where over the years, I just started honing in on like specific like genres like military. I always loved that. I mean, of course, I was watching sci-fi before I could read it, and I just started loving like space marines, whether it was in
Mhm.
space or boots on the ground. I just absolutely love that, and all the spins that you can do with that. I love it, and that's the other thing about the author community is that I feel like I'm being just immersed in so many different books that you don't see on the shelves of bookstores. I mean, I
I
go to
agree.
Barnes and Nobles and you always see Star Trek and Star Wars. And it's like, well, yeah, I want something different. It's like I want something original or, just something that isn't, the norm these days. So I love that. So my last question to you is there anything else you want the readers to know what to expect or whatever you just want to just let us know?
Sure. And again, thanks for putting this together. I know I'm going to ask you some questions soon, but I
Oh,
really
yeah.
appreciate this chance to connect with people. I know you're gonna list my website, my Instagram
Oh, yeah.
page, my
All of
Facebook
that.
page. So I appreciate that. But I did want to let people know that I also have a newsletter. And for anybody who signs up for my newsletter, you get a free short story. And this short story is cool because it is in my universe and
Mm-hmm.
it involves humans and AI and an alien. So
Nice.
it's it's an easy read and it's free. So if you like it's not even 3,000 words, so it's
Oh,
something
okay.
that folks could read in under a half hour easy. But it's free. All you need to do is you go to my website and it's right there on the front page. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
click here for a free short story. And you'll also get, I send out a newsletter monthly, which is just kind of an update on what's going on with um, Cinder of Corvannon, what's going on with me, and some other fun stuff too.
Just upcoming events or
Yeah,
how your work in progress is going.
exactly.
That's great. Especially when you start looking for beta readers. I already signed up.
Yes. Yes.
I cannot wait to dive into it. Okay, so I can't think of anything else to ask you. So, but I know you wanted to ask me some questions because you have a
Yeah.
very unique perspective because you have read my book, The Dark Sun. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
And I know I'm going to ask you some questions about that, and I may be curious about your second book, but
Hmm.
you don't have to pull the wraps off it.
Right, right. No,
So like,
if I can say it, I'll say it. But if not,
right.
or if I can, I will.
So I think your characters are the same in your books.
Yes.
So who's the character that you identify with the most, and why?
Well, you know what? I love that question so much because, our characters are a piece, all of them are a piece of us. But I actually don't identify with any of them. And the reason why I say that is because each one of them, I started with if I give this person this childhood, what will become of them when they become an adult, and what decisions I need them to make, um, given that experience. So, like Pocky, for instance, she is a medic. I know nothing of the medical field. I have some friends that are EMTs and EMS. So I would ask them questions like, well, what would happen with this or this situation? So yeah, I I mean, I can't directly identify with any of them. Like Thomas, for instance. He's he can't hold his stomach down for the life of him, and I'm like, I can't relate to that because I don't know what that's like. Um, well, you know what? For him particularly, he loves agriculture, and I have an immense love for anything that's green. I
Oh, cool.
Oh, I do. I love trees. If I could do a book about just photography of trees, I would. I really would. A boring book of trees. And but yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely identify with him on that. Totally.
Cool.
So yeah, I won't say anything more about it because I could say, well, with this character I do, but that would be giving away too much. So
Well, you definitely I would have guessed after reading Dark Sun that you had some medical background.
none. Well,
So kudos to you for doing that research because
yeah.
it rang true for me.
Well, honestly, I do have animal science behind this, but again, I mean, nowhere near on the medical side. nothing,
Mhm.
nothing close. I was really like, I'm so thankful for my friends that are in the medical field and be able to give me some pointers and some background on that. So thank you.
Sure, sure. So if you had to pick a scene, and this can be in either your work in progress or
Mhm.
Dark Sun, what's your favorite scene you've written?
Let's see. I have to say, well, for my first one, it's because there's so many, but I really love the scene that I wrote between Pocky and Lance the first time that they are alone, because she is hurting like mega bad from an old injury, and while she's coping with that, he stumbles, her trying to um being able to self medicate, trying to like I mean, I said that kind of wrong, but it's her trying to tone down the pain, and he happens to come in, and it's a very like awkward moment. But yet at the same time, she starts feeling, and she had been feeling attracted to him, and she's like, "What is wrong with me?" I'm like, I'm in pain, but wow, he smells really good. So being able to balance that was so much fun. I can't even like express that enough. It was so fun.
Well, the thing, and I hope this isn't giving too much away, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I think it was interesting for me as a reader because there's this attraction, but then I'm like, but I think they already know each other, but they just don't remember they do. So is that part of it? And you can cut that out if you want, but I thought that was really interesting dynamic to
Mm-hmm.
add into a an attraction.
Yeah, I want to say not giving away, but I want to say it is natural. Them kind of feeling that attraction toward each other. It's
Mhm.
very very natural. But I won't say anything further than that because
Okay, cool.
it might be
That's
giving
fair.
away a little bit
That's
too
fair.
much, but maybe some intrigue there too. So thank you for that.
Sure. Um, do you have anything you want to let your listeners know about what's going on with your work in progress or other things
Yeah,
in your life?
right now, book two, which of course I'm keeping the title. For right now, I don't have that out in the open, but I'm just calling it book two. It is still on track. It's about to go to my copy editor for a copy edit. And so I'm on track for it to be released in September. I mean, I'm hoping for like the first Monday of September. Um, I mean, if it happens sooner than that, that'll be great. But so far, I'm on track, so I'm very, very excited. And yeah, it's a very exciting time because it's like I'm juggling a lot here. I'm working on that while doing interviews. It's I'm like, oh my goodness. And plus, I have a whole lot of books on my TBR. But but for book two, I'm very happy to say that it is on track, and all the good stuff like the cover reveal and the title reveal will be coming out pretty soon. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate that.
No worries. You said you had some new questions that you thought of. Do you want to try that, or do you want to get going? I'm okay. I got
I
some.
know. Actually, yeah, I pulled up some that I thought might be fun for you. Let's see. Nope, I already asked you that. um. Oh, this is a good one.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a good one. What moral line do your characters refuse to cross, and what tempts them toward it? Sorry, it's starting to get a little dark in here.
No. That's a great question. I think the one that we talked about Sergeant Briggs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll go in a different direction with my answer. And
Okay.
I have an alien race called the Viari, Veyari,
Mm-hmm.
and they send a scout to watch Roland
Mm-hmm.
because they're looking for allies. But the scout, she's hidden. But what is really interesting is she's a scout and she's supposed to get permission to do everything from her leaders.
Mm-hmm.
But as the story progresses, there's not always time for that.
Mm-hmm.
And some things arise where she has to say, well, am I going to do exactly what my role is supposed to be? Or am I going to do some things on my own because it's the right thing to do?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is a really... there's a human character, Sergeant Briggs, that does that. But I think it's interesting, too, that another race has the same kind of struggle
Mm-hmm.
with what should they do when you have to make a decision quickly
Mm-hmm.
and you can't go through the normal channels. What are you going to do?
Right. I thought that was a really good question when I was looking up, like, because I was like, I want to do something a little bit new with Steven.
Yeah.
So, but you can always say, well, that's spoiling a little bit. But thank you so much for that answer.
Sure.
So I think we covered everything. Now for our readers and for our audience, we're gonna say goodbye on this part, but we're gonna continue on to the after show part, and I'm really looking forward to that. There might be some spoilers, but for this segment, I want to go ahead and say thank you, Steven, so much for joining me and talking about Cinders of Corvannon. Absolutely cannot wait to read this book. Super excited. That's part of the reason why I'm going to be a beta reader, because I just can't wait.
And I want to say thank you, everyone, for watching this. I want to say thanks to Cristine Keller for putting this together. If you haven't read The Dark Sun yet, why not?
Thank you.
And you need to get it and read it. Because then you'll be all ready when her second book, her work in progress, comes out.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna say goodbye. Thank you for watching.
See you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. I thoroughly enjoyed talking with Steven and nerding out with him for a little bit. And if you enjoyed the interview as well, please leave a comment, and subscribe for more indie content. In the next couple of weeks, I will be releasing our after show where we talked a little bit more casually and talked about spoilers. So it was a lot of fun. And I'm also going to be featuring more indie authors such as Ron Day and G.P. Hawker. I can't wait to nerd out with those guys as well. And there's just going to be more to come. So stay tuned and we'll see you there. Happy reading.